What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is well. This is my Champions League quarter-final recaps of the second legs yesterday and obviously on Tuesday. Liverpool through, Man City through, Real Madrid through and Villarreal through. I did call Villarreal upsetting Bayern in my predictions for that, and I did think that they would cause the upset, and they did. Not a lot of people went with that, but I said I had faith and belief in them, and they ended up doing it, winning 2-1 on aggregate over 2 games. Getting a 1-1 on Tuesday at the Alliance Arena. Not an easy place to go against a team like that and getting a result, and they did. So fair play to Villarreal and all credit to them because they keep defying the odds. Real Madrid-Chelsea, very good game. Chelsea winning 3-2 but losing 5-4 on aggregate. The holders, obviously, from last year, Chelsea, out now. I do think they were done harshly by the handball for Alonso. I don't think that was a handball at all. And it wasn't on purpose either. He's not got his hand in an unnatural position for me. So for me, I think Chelsea were a little bit unfortunate with that. But they are out. Madrid into the semi-finals. Obviously, the team that have won it most in the history of the Champions League. I watched City last night against Atletico. Boring game. Got physical near the end and throughout, but it was spoken more about for the off-field stuff yesterday after the game and in the tunnel and that, and a little bit on the sideline with Foden, Grealish, Savic, Sterling and a few others involved. But when you're speaking about more stuff that's off-the-field stuff instead of the actual football, it shows you the entertainment value of that game and the quality of that game. City weren't at their best and Atletico weren't either. And it was a 0-0, boring. And I should have watched the Liverpool game. I went with the City one because I thought Liverpool would definitely cruise through their game and win it. And they didn't. It ended up 3-3 Liverpool's game, winning 6-4 on aggregate. And probably a little bit lucky with a few decisions in the game. Potential offsides and stuff that were very close, some of them. But the City game, very boring, but they did do enough to get through, which sets up City-Madrid in the semi-final, which should be a cracker. And Villarreal-Liverpool, which would probably be a better game than the Madrid-Man City, to be honest, because Liverpool, I think, play more exciting than both Madrid and Man City. And I think Villarreal surprise people, as they have done, and they can show moments of quality where they can cause major upsets. So I think that will be the more entertaining game for Liverpool-Villarreal. But we'll have to wait and see, obviously, for the semi-finals. But 2 Spanish teams, 2 English teams left in the semis. And yeah, the holders Chelsea are out, and so we're going to have a new winner now. I'm going to predict here and now that it's going to be a Liverpool-Man City final, and I'm going to go for Liverpool to win it. And City obviously never won it, and I think that is a mental block in them at the moment until they can overcome that hurdle and actually win one. I think it's going to be harder for them to do it, whereas Liverpool have won it several times over the years and know how to do it. And I just fancy Liverpool to do it again, to be honest. So I'm going to predict a Liverpool-Man City final for Liverpool to go all the way and win it as well. But going into the semi-finals, Man City-Madrid, I'm going to go with City, obviously. But Madrid definitely could cause an upset. Benzema is having a fantastic season. I'm a big fan of that. Vinicius Jr. And obviously Modric in the midfield. That assist he got the other night for, I think it was Rodrigo who came on, where he curled it with the outside of his foot over... I can't remember who the player was now, but literally just over their head, not enough for them to jump, like too high for them to jump and reach it, but he's literally ball watching and he can't get there. It was just an inch perfect ball with the quality of the outside of the foot from Modric. Elite from Modric. And I just kept being like, wow, about that assist alone. The Madrid-Chelsea game was fantastic, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it, because it was well worth a watch. And I thought Chelsea went out in the right way. Even though they're out of the competition now, they went out fighting. And they were unlucky as well, I think, with the handball decision that went against them. So yeah, Madrid, Man City, I'm going to predict Man City to go through in that. Not sure about the score, but I will predict Man City to go through to the final. And I think Liverpool will beat Villarreal, but it wouldn't surprise me if Villarreal cause another upset because they've been doing it for a while now. So getting into some of the games for the stats, if you're interested. Bayern Munich had 65% of the possession, 24 attempts to Villarreal's 4. But it finishes 1-1, and that is why football is great, because you can have very limited chances and still either draw or win. and that is what Villarreal done in getting a vital draw to send them through. So stats-wise, Bayern did dominate, but it's not. This is why I say football is not all about stats. People that use stats all the time, I know I'm reading them right now, but I'm using it as an example that it's about the performance, the game performance, and not just on stats. Because look, they dominated stats, Bayern Munich, and they're out of the competition. Passing accuracy as well in Bayern's favour, 88% to Villarreal's 72%. Passes completed, 518 for Bayern, 205 for Villarreal. Villarreal had to make 3 saves and Bayern 0. Obviously, they got a goal conceded against them, but Neuer was nowhere getting near it. So, and a little with a Chukwueze finish as well. He kind of mishits it into the ground, but that actually helps it go over Neuer and out of his reach. And they also had 2 yellow cards, Villarreal to Bayern's 1. Finishes 1-1 though, and Villarreal go through 2-1. Next up, we got Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Possession for Madrid, 43% to Chelsea's 57%. Attempts, 10 for Madrid, 29 for Chelsea. I didn't realise it was that much until today. Crazy amount of attempts. And again, this is another one where the stats favour Chelsea, who are the losing side, like Bayern were. So don't always read into stats too much, because they can be deceiving, and they have been numerous times. And a lot of times over the years. Attacks, Chelsea 90, Madrid 46. Corners, Chelsea 10, Madrid just the 1. Passing accuracy, Chelsea again 89% to Madrid's 85%. Madrid had to make more saves. 5 yellow cards, there's a lot of cards in this game. 5 yellows for Chelsea, 4 for Madrid. So again, a lot of them stats favour Chelsea, but they're out of the competition like Bayern are. Next up, Liverpool Benfica. Possession 63% to Liverpool, 37 for Benfica. Total attempts, Liverpool 18 to Benfica's 5. Attacks 64 for Liverpool, 20 for Benfica. Passing accuracy 87% for Liverpool, 78% for Benfica. Completed passes 670 for Liverpool. That is a lot. 305 for Benfica. And then kind of pretty even for the most part for the rest of them. Benfica having to make 1 more save, but Liverpool edging the stats in that one, and they won on over the 2 games, obviously. Great game on just off the highlights of Liverpool Benfica, so make sure you check that out. Next up, we've got Atletico Madrid, Man City. Possession 40% Atletico, 60% Man City. Total attempts 14 for Atletico, 10 for Man City. Attacks 39 Atletico, 42 for Man City. Corners 4 for City, 2 for Atletico. Passing accuracy 79% Atletico, 89% City. Completed passes 316 for Atletico, 531 for Man City. Man City making a few more saves. 5 yellows for City, 5 yellows for Atletico, and obviously Atletico also picked up a red card as well for Felipe, receiving 2 yellows. So, and then all the aftermath after the game and all that and the stuff during the game with Foden on the side, and we don't like to see that. There's a lot of thing in football about respect racism and all that, and we're all together in that, and then things like this boil over in games, and you can see the players and that, and Grealish's hair getting pulled and all sorts going on. So it's a bit contradictory when things like that happen in football on a big stage in front of the cameras, because you do all these things all the time, fighting racism and togetherness and all that, and then this sort of stuff happens. So I get that your emotions are high and some things sometimes can boil over, but it's contradictory to with what you're trying to push throughout every year. Do you know what I mean? So, and also with that, I've said before as well, we tackle racism in football all the time. Gay rights, which I'm all for, like, push for that. But why don't we push for homelessness? Why don't we push for paedophilia? Why don't we push for poverty and everything else? Why is it always just a select few things every year that we repeat? It's all very well having them, but we need to bring more in as well if we're going to do that. That's what I would say. But anyway, going a little bit off topic there. Madrid, Man City, Liverpool, Villarreal, the semi-finalist teams. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, and if your team's still in it, and if you fancy your chances to get into the final, and your predictions for the semi-finals as well. Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I'll see you soon.